the next iPhone and Galaxy phone no longer felt like two versions of the same device? That question is starting to make sense now because Apple and Samsung are finally moving in different directions, not just with software, but with how they build their hardware. For years, whenever Apple made a change, Samsung followed with something similar, and the same happened the other way around. Their flagship smartphones always had powerful processors, great cameras, and slim designs. But according to some reliable reports, things are about to change, and for good reason. This time, both companies are taking opposite roads when it comes to one important detail: how thin their phones are and how much battery they offer. Let's start with Apple. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is rumored to come with a larger battery, finally, reaching 5,000 mAh. That's a big step up from the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and it also means Apple has to increase the thickness of the device. According to the leaks, the iPhone 17 Pro Max will be around 8.76 millimeters thick, which is even more than the current model's 8.25 millimeters. Instead of squeezing everything into a slim shell, Apple seems to be saying that battery life matters more than a thinner phone. And honestly, that might be exactly what many users have been asking for: a phone that can last longer in your hand, without needing a charge every few hours. Now let's talk about Samsung. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is rumored to go in the opposite direction. Instead of getting thicker, it's getting even slimmer, possibly less than 8 millimeters, but still slightly more than 7 millimeters. That's impressively thin, especially if Samsung manages to pack a 5,000 mAh battery inside it as well. If that rumor is true, then Samsung may finally be using denser battery technology. This means they're not increasing the battery size physically, but using better materials and tech to fit more power into a smaller space. That's smart engineering, but it also shows that Samsung is still focused on keeping their phones as thin and sleek as possible. This is where the difference really starts to show. Apple is clearly more focused on giving users longer battery life, even if that means a slightly heavier and thicker phone. Samsung, on the other hand, is staying true to its design-first mindset, offering a modern, slim phone that still performs well. And for users, this difference is important. If you want a light and thin smartphone, the Galaxy S26 Ultra might be the better choice. But if you want a device that gives you more time between charges, then the iPhone 17 Pro Max is likely to meet your needs better. Interestingly, is Samsung's next Fan Edition phone actually worth waiting for? That is the big question as the Galaxy S25 Fan Edition moves one step closer to launch. While excitement around this lineup used to be high, things feel a little different this time. According to firmware server data, Samsung has started testing the Galaxy S25 Fan Edition's software. The phone, with model number SMS731B, is already running test firmware, which gives us a strong hint that the company plans to release it before the end of this year. The firmware version S731BXXUOAYFB suggests the phone will likely come with Android 16 and One UI 8 pre-installed, which is good news if you care about having the latest software. But beyond that, the leaks so far have left people feeling unsure. One of the biggest reasons for the hesitation is the chip. Reports suggest the Galaxy S25 Fan Edition will use the same Exynos 2400E processor that powered the Galaxy S24 Fan Edition. That is a bit of a letdown for those hoping for a major performance upgrade. In fact, when people buy a Fan Edition phone, they expect solid specs at a slightly lower price, not recycled parts from last year. Still, it is not all bad news. There is talk of a slightly better front-facing camera this time around, going from 10 megapixels to 12 megapixels. That might be a small improvement, but for anyone who takes a lot of selfies or does video calls, it could make a real difference. There is also a chance that the new Fan Edition might look better than the last one. Some fan-made renders show thinner bezels around the screen, which could make the phone feel more premium even if the internal parts remain mostly the same. However, those images are not official, So we will have to wait to see if that really happens. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the Galaxy S25 Fan Edition is shaping up to be a mixed experience, just like the Galaxy S24 Fan Edition before it. And the final verdict might come down to one thing: price. The Galaxy S24 Fan Edition launched in the United States for 649 United States dollars and in Europe for 749 euros. If Samsung keeps the Galaxy S25 Fan Edition in that price range, it might still attract buyers who want a reliable phone with Samsung's software experience without paying for a flagship. But if the price goes higher while offering the same old processor, people might skip it altogether. With no official release date announced yet, we can only look at past trends. The Galaxy S24 Fan Edition was revealed in September and hit store shelves in October of 2024, so the Galaxy S25 Fan Edition might follow the same schedule. What if the next big leap in smartphone design isn't just a fold but two? Samsung is reportedly gearing up to unveil its first tri-folding phone, and if the latest leak is right, we won't have to wait long to see it. According to a new report from The Bell, Samsung plans to showcase this futuristic device during its Galaxy Unpacked event on July 9th. That's right next week. But don't expect it to hit store shelves right away. Mass production is set to begin in September, and the phone may go on sale sometime in the last quarter of this year. Now, let's talk specs, because this phone isn't just about flashy folds. The tri-folding Samsung device is rumored to come with a massive 10-inch OLED display. That's basically the size of a tablet, packed into something that folds down to fit in your pocket, and powering it, the newly announced Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, said to be the fastest smartphone processor yet. It's clear Samsung wants this phone to feel like the future in your hands, but not everything is about going big. When it comes to the battery, the report says it will be smaller than the 5,600 mAh battery inside Huawei's tri-folding phone. That might raise concerns, but Samsung is likely betting on software and chip efficiency to make up for it. As for cameras, the setup could match what we're expecting in the Galaxy Z Fold 7, a 200 megapixels main sensor, a 12 megapixels ultrawide, a 10 megapixels telephoto with 3x optical zoom, and a 10 megapixels selfie camera. Those numbers put it right in flagship territory. But here's the thing: this won't be a mass-market device, at least not yet. The trifold phone is expected to cost more than 4 million Korean won, which is close to 2,941 US dollars, and for now, it might only be available in China and South Korea. That's not surprising, though. This launch is less about selling millions of units and more about proving a point. Samsung wants to show it still leads in mobile innovation, especially as rivals like Huawei, Oppo, and Vivo push out thinner, lighter foldables with powerful specs. Huawei, in fact, launched its first tri-folding phone back in September 2024 and managed to sell over 400,000 units in just 2 months. Now, they're already preparing a second-generation model. So Samsung's tri-fold phone is coming late, but maybe not too late. With its in-house OLED display tech, powerful hardware, and a new form factor, it could still turn heads. The OLED panel, by the way, will be made by Samsung Display and is said to be extremely thin yet strong and flexible. Production of the